Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you hail from. This is Dustin Owens, one of the co-coordinators for the K12 Esports League, along with the commissioner, Robbie Menegdeg, during week one of Marvel Rivals starting out for the winter season. Let's go.
Let's go. Absolutely. Uh, as Dustin mentioned, welcome. K12 Esports League Winter Season 2026. This is week number one for Marvel Rivals. Last night we had some amazing matches in both Smash Bros. And Valorant. Again, kicking us off on the winter season in an incredible fashion. We got to see some really great matchups on stream, and I know the matchups off stream also were amazing as well. But uh, that was yesterday. Today, we do have Marvel Rivals, and we have our reigning champs, the CAVA Bears Marvel Rivals team from the fall 2025 season, going up against the VAVA team here. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, because VAVA has so many teams and plenty of different team names, but these guys are the Bubble Buddies. Is that correct?
That is correct. Fun name, but yeah, the Vava
Right.
Bees Bubble Buddies.
Yep. So we got the Kava Bears going up against the Bubble Buddies, who, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but got third place last season. So it's a first place versus third place matchup. I'm super excited to see this one. I believe we actually did stream this, Dustin, during the semifinals of fall 2025. So just a few weeks ago. Really tight matchup. Kava definitely came out on top, but Vava was keeping it close there for a while, which is amazing. I want to see a third game here today, as we do run only best of threes through the regular season. But we'll just have to see how everything does pan out and play out. With that being said, it looks like we are in the picks and bans. Before we go over to that screen, though, just as a reminder, best of three. Dustin, give us the map order breakdown, and then let's head over to the picks and bans.
Absolutely. We are going to be starting out on Convoy first. And that will be pushing the payload or the convoy machine through those 3 points. Then we're going to go to a convergence round for round two, to where they have to capture the point first before pushing the convoy through those points. And then if we get to a third matchup, which we're crossing our fingers is going to happen in week one, is a domination round in like its own small best of three scenario. But some really good maps and everything coming out. Looks like we're going to be starting out on the Hellfire Gala, which is Araco for Convoy. So they're basically going to be pushing a similar version of Groot along the map. It's through
Mhm.
those points and everything. But yes, we did have to. There was a little bit of a restart for the picks and bans and everything, just for a couple setup things. So once we kind of get up and rolling with them, we're going to switch over. But is there anything else? Did we mention we're on a 3 minute delay, Robbie? I'm trying to go
Right.
back through my notes and remember.
That was the only other thing. The next thing to talk about is a couple quick disclaimers, right? Dustin and I, we're not only streaming this, we are the sole moderators in here today. We are on a 3 minute delay as well. And off stream, we have like 10 other matches going on. So if there's ever a moment where myself or Dustin does go silent, we're handling something on the back end. So I think those are my quick disclaimers. Oh, one more. Of course, we are a high school esports league. So keep the chat vibey, keep it positive. You are at a school event, so just keep that in mind here. But looks like we had another reset, which is totally okay. We want to make sure that everything is locked up and good to go as far as the actual matchup. And so you got my face for just another couple seconds here, and Dustin's beautiful face for just a couple seconds here. I think all those disclaimers are through. At this point in time, and you can transition us over here, Dustin. At this point in time, with the K12 Esports League, we do put a 2-week ban on brand new maps and brand new heroes, but everyone is eligible. So I'm excited to see, do we have any rogues coming out this week? We'll just have to wait and see, right? But we are into the picks and bans on the Kava side. Once again, we do have Trigga, Seraphim, Jarson, Simba, Rick, and Pico de Gio. For the Vava Bubble Buddies tonight, we will be seeing Emperor Ally Bruno, not Mars. That is a great name. Fireplace, Lorksu, Zeeks, and Perplex. It looks like first two lock-ins were the Iron Fist for Jarson on the Kava Bears side and the Daredevil for Fireplace on the VAVA Bubble Buddies.
Yeah, we definitely saw those two. Honestly, back in the playoffs, going at it really well with those two characters. Jarson, even on Daredevil at times too.
Hmm.
Definitely the ban coming out from the Kava side on the Hawkeye, knowing that there's a good Hawkeye player within that VAVA team and everything. So very strategic. Invisible Woman is banned this round, so that's actually a pretty big pick too, just based on her overall healing factor and everything. They're looking at banning Jeff as well as Emma Frost. Again, I think these are very solid bans, very strategic by both teams, and they've done their homework between the fall season and just kind of looking over the rosters and everything. We are going to have Magneto as a lock, which, again, very strategic. Both sides have a Magneto player that are outstanding. And it looks like we're actually going to have a Penny lock, which that definitely totally interesting to me. She can be banned in some comps and everything if they have the rocket and everything too, but nothing super major. And we are going to actually see Gambit be banned as well, which again another kind of
Interesting.
bigger healer coming out from this season and everything. Definitely can make a huge difference. Is not going to have that Magneto team up this go round. And what's funny is with the counter
You'll
pick
need a
of the Penny,
top-notch
they
team to
did
win this
decide to
one.
go ahead and ban the rocket just so that way they can't get the extra nest of mines. So a very strategic pick by both teams when it comes to these picks and bans. Really good comps for what I'm seeing so far, and I am excited to get into this matchup.
Oh, me too. I think one of the what definitely separates Marvel Rivals from some of the other hero shooters is the team up mechanic. It's so interesting, and there's a lot of strategy and thought that can definitely go into that there. Um, so, it's great to see that not only are these players really good in game, but
30
they have
seconds
the
before you attack.
entire
Get
kind
ready.
of strategy down behind even picks and bans, right? It's a whole nother layer than just playing ranked matches at the end of the day. So love to see it. But here we go. 15 seconds before the game officially starts here, the Bubble Buddies will be on offense and Kava will be on defense. Now, one thing I do want to shout out before we do
The
get
battle
into it
starts in
is
5,
we got to see
4,
Kava quite a
3,
bit toward the end of the
2,
playoffs, right? As they
1.
are our reigning champs. They are quick to end matches on both
Portal,
Convoy and
watch out for spammers.
Convergence with either just holding teams really close to the spawn point of the Convoy and then switching to push it back, or vice versa, getting all the way down with the Convoy on attack and then holding the other team. So I'm interested to see how far can Bubble Buddies get with this Convoy here in this map number 1, or can they get it all the way? It's definitely possible here.
And so far, VAVA is doing a pretty good job at being able to push this through this up, getting closer to that first point, kind of making Kava come back into this particular corner of the map to be able to rotate around this overall corner down at the bottom and everything. But in general, they've already made it halfway to that first point as the game is letting us know and everything. But Kava currently has a few people still kind of holding strong, trying to get through. Is going to take out the Strange though. Winter Soldier coming in with the ultimate, going to be able to kind of clean up that space, and they're going to try to stop this Magneto from the Kava side from getting on to this convoy, and it is going to be successful. So some ults online for the VAVA Bubble Buddies, pushing this pretty easily through this first point, doing a really good job at creating space and making sure that they don't take the point.
Yeah, the Bubble Buddies coming out kind of on fire already. Perplex and Lorksu, really for the Bubble Buddies, putting down some damage, getting a good couple of eliminations throughout this first push here to secure that first checkpoint. For both sides, though, ultimates are starting to come online, and so we're gonna see a huge team fight here, I'm sure, in a few moments, where all of these ults will start to get used, and we will have the first one coming out from Simba for the CAVA Bears, answered right back by Bruno Not Mars for the Bubble Bunnies. Zeke's as well with that Magneto ult will not get too much from it, and it looks like at the end of this fight here, CAVA will still hold to make that 3 ultimates and get a full team wipe. Jarson going crazy with that Iron Fist ult.
That was a really good play by CAVA, being able to kind of counter some of those ults, realizing that they're going to have to pop that Luna ult. VAVA also trying to do that on their side with their Luna, but VAVA being able to come out on top with that Doctor Strange ult as well as the Iron Fist ult in the process. Good fight there.
Right now, yeah, great fight. Right now I see Pico with their ult online, and actually I was going to say I would have loved to see them pop it right out the gate, but didn't even need it, as we will see 4 players for the Bubble Buddies go down with nobody from the CAVA Bears go down. So a really good team fight there once again coming out of CAVA. I believe one ult did get popped by Rick on that Black Panther, and for both teams now, not a whole lot of ultimates online. CAVA will be having 4 in just a few moments, though.
Yeah, we did actually, so with the Black Panther ult, Groot actually did try to ult as well with Lorzu. Unfortunately, was stopped mid-ult, so was not going to find much. Doctor Strange being stopped up, taking his ult down to about half, but he's quickly bringing that back up. Pico going to pop the Magneto ult to try to get the Cloak and Dagger, and is successful with that. VAVA coming in with a Daredevil ult. Jarson coming in with the Iron Fist ult. A lot of action going on right here to try to get this point through. Ult coming out from Lorzu on that Groot as well. VAVA currently
back
pushing.
and forth here in this fight.
Here they are now.
A lot of back and forth here in this fight. I want to call out Fireplace real quick on that Daredevil. Did end up getting taken down at the very end of that, but they started that fight in the back line and was doing so much damage, allowed for the Bubble Buddies to at least get a little bit of distance there and actually, extend that team fight a really long way. The damage coming out of Fireplace on that Daredevil was actually nuts, but back to where we're at right now currently. Bubble Buddies trying to push this convoy up this corridor, this Groot on by Lorksu, putting out that damage, putting down those walls, playing pretty well, but we will see almost a full, make that a full team wipe coming out of the CAVA Bears onto the Bubble Buddies. I'm not really sure actually where all of that damage did happen to come in from, but full team wipe, great hold by the CAVA Bears there.
Yeah, and we're seeing some really good, trying to give some stream time and everything to our healers on each of those teams too. A lot of backline work for these players as some of these heavy hitters are coming out. We are going to have Magneto ult online. Strategist doing a really good job at keeping them healed at the moment. Keep them pushing on this convoy. Currently 3 ults online, 4 ults online for CAVA, 3 ults online for VAVA and climbing. We're going to see the first one popped out, followed by the second Luna ult popped out for each team. Trying to keep their players and everything. We are going to see the Namor ult coming through, as well as the thing. VAVA able to take out 3 of the players from CAVA, and the others are going to have to back off at this point until their team is reassembled. Jarson.
During that second checkpoint is the VAVA Bubble Buddies. Jarson coming in on the Iron Fist, kind of a solo play to get a good bit of damage down on there, but will ultimately drop a little bit eager there was Jarson, but they will be coming back online now. It will be a full 6v6 here in just a moment. Looking at the ultimates, 3 for each team. Fireplace, I think their name is, for the Bubble Buddies, has switched to, I believe, their 4th hero here today in just this map number 1, so showing that how versatile they truly are. But We are in this huge team fight now. A lot of the Namor, what are those called there, Dustin? Like turrets?
They're squids, yeah.
Squids. Yeah, a lot of the Namor squids are all around the map, helping the Vava Bubble Buddies do a lot of damage here. But Lorksu now on the Loki as well, has their ultimate online. We'll have to see what they do with this one, but CAVA at the moment actually really low with 2 of their players and 1 in the death screen as well. The ultimate will be popped by Lorksu. Perplex on this Namor, putting down some damage, throwing those spears. We'll throw up another squid as well. Great headshot there onto Seraphim, securing that elimination. Going up, getting some poke damage on the back end too. Perplex actually playing out of their mind, hitting all of their shots, which is what you need out of a DPS, and they will actually set the Bubble Buddies up for a lot of success at the end of that team fight there, securing 4 eliminations total as a team.
And while I definitely don't,
this convoy is almost at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, while I definitely don't count VAVA out with some of these ults, and VAVA having a lot of ults on that line, everybody trying to push to keep this point from getting to the very end, and we're right here on top of it. Fireplace,
We are
popping his ult.
We are in overtime now, ladies and gentlemen. All VAVA needs to do is keep CAVA off this convoy for just a moment to actually finish it, and then for CAVA, they just need to push VAVA back off of it. It's a very similar situation, but we will see the Bubble Buddies get 4 eliminations with the last 2 players so weak. A full team wipe. The Bubble Buddies will win this first round on attacking of Convoy. That is a great start for our 3rd place team from the fall season, going up against our reigning champions. Now the time did go all the way down, which means that for CAVA to win this game number 1, they will need to take that convoy all the way to the end in a faster fashion than what the Bubble Buddies did.
Yeah, Alex, both teams have some really good play coming out of this first round. Only makes this even more exciting going into the second round with CAVA being on attack. But we saw a lot of different changes, obviously coming out of VAVA, some over there on the CAVA end as well. Very interesting swaps and everything. I think honestly their comp was started out pretty solid, and I think they wanted to just adjust a little bit to try to give a little bit more of a push. Switching to the Loki and everything, having that triple support on the VAVA side to be able to really bring in the healing factor, and having the poke damage from the Thing as well as Namor and everything with those squids. I think it's a solid pick overall, and it obviously played into their favor during that first round.
Absolutely. I want to call out real quick. We see Jarson on the Mr. Fantastic now, and in the final games of the championship last season, Jarson did bring out the Mr. Fantastic, and in my eyes was part of the difference maker to actually secure the championship for them. So I'm going to be taking a very keen look at the Mr. Fantastic here this game, see if he sticks with it throughout the remainder, or if he does end up opting to switch out. But here we go, we're starting, and first elimination of this round is Jarson on that Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing a similar trend here with the CAVA team, pushing this VAVA team kind of into that corner. It is kind of an interesting area to try to defend if we're like looking at here, because you have the convoy coming under this area, and you have this overhang here that kind of pushes back into this. CAVA was just able to kind of overpower VAVA and is already halfway to that first point and everything. VAVA coming back in prepared. Fireplace now on Thor. So again, we're seeing a little bit of a difference in the tank swap ups and everything. Currently coming up on this first
Zeke's
point.
Here on the front line. Yeah, coming up with the first point is CAVA. Zeke's here on the front line with this Magneto. Does get pulled in by, I believe, the Mr. Fantastic, and they will ultimately take them down. Seraphim on the Loki, able to secure that one. Jarson with a double here on this Mr. Fantastic again. I think that this was the difference maker, part of the difference maker in the championship game. Coming out, playing on fire on this Mr. Fantastic. Looking now as we do have a little bit of a reset as the checkpoint does open. 3 ults for the Bubble Buddies, 4 ults, make that 5 for CAVA. CAVA in a good position to just win this next team fight and continue this push.
I agree, and I love seeing the versatility on these on each of these teams and everything. We're gonna see Hella ult come out from the VAVA team. Not gonna find anything there because of the Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange on CAVA trying to ult, but is gonna be stopped in the process by Hella Util. Still 2 ults online for each team. Luna going down for VAVA though, big ult. Fireplace gonna try to take up space, is gonna find at least the one, as well as the assist on the other, but is gonna be taken out in the process. Doctor Strange from VAVA, able to get a decent hit and all off on to the CAVA team, but not enough to take down any players right away. Trying to hold on to the point, and unfortunately is gonna go down for the VAVA squad.
Yeah, unfortunately for VAVA, they had a player or 2 down, and they got a 4-player stun onto the CAVA team. So even after that 4-player stun, they weren't able to really convert that into anything amazing. Super unfortunate because a 4-player stun is nuts.
Very, very true. Yeah, it was a really good ult spot, just not enough to really get anything off of that, unfortunately. 2 ult healers online for VAVA though, along with that Hella ult, but 4 ults online for the CAVA team. Looking to try to make some headway on this last little push to get to this second point. We're gonna see a lot of ults come out online here. Iron Fist, Jarson trying to make some headway. Seraphim making sure that they heal their team with their ult. Oh, and Pico coming out with the Doctor Strange ult is going to get taken down.
Yeah, Perplex with a huge double there. Make that triple onto the CAVA Bears team. 4 total eliminations for the Bubble Buddies at this moment in time. Make that 5. Basically a full team wipe. We do see the quad coming out for Perplex. Great discipline coming out from them, as well as they could have kept pushing and going for that quint, but we'll kind of re-angle. Love to see that right there coming out of this player, knowing that it's not about solo stats, it's about the team game and fully winning. Wow, great headshots there onto Seraphim. Will not actually get the elimination, but it will come in later onto Rick. Perplex again on this Hella. Last round we saw them on Namor, hitting so many shots. Again, like that. This is what you want to see out of your DPS. 3 ults coming out from the VAVA Bubble Buddies. They need to win this team fight, otherwise it is going to be a dagger for them. As we will see 2 players from the Bubble Buddies go down. CAVA at this moment in time able to stay alive through the ults and actually turn the fight in their favor. This is looking like they will secure the second checkpoint.
Yeah, it was really good. Just the counterplay and everything with those ults online, giving CAVA that little extra to be able to push this point through the rest of the way. VAVA is not gonna be able to be on point to go through that. So we're on to this third and final point for CAVA, this final push coming out. And we have seen nothing but head-to-head action from these teams. Just some really good gameplay, really good strategy. It's just all about who's coming out on top with who has the ults online, as well as how they play their ults and everything. Just being able to do the team wipes and everything to get that. Big Dr. Ult Strange coming in is going to get 2 with at least the 3rd assist there. That's going to be huge because VAVA, with only the Penny ult and the Luna ult online at the moment, the other player's going to have to come back from spawn. Not far away, but not much online at the same time either.
That was an amazing ult from Pico de Gio. Got 5 stuns onto the VAVA Bubble Buddies. And shout out to the rest of CAVA following him up and being able to take down 4 players. CAVA has now pushed this convoy almost all the way. Mr. Fantastic ult coming out from Jarson. going up, putting down a lot of damage. No eliminations coming out thus far. The Bubble Buddies will need to convert on a huge team fight here as CAVA is getting so close, and they do only need to hold for about another minute and 10 seconds here.
And with the few ults that they have online, CAVA currently doesn't have any ults in their arsenal. Dr. Strange from VAVA is going to go down. Perplex still has their ult online, and then they still have the Dr. Strange ult online for this point cap if they're able to get back. Hella going to go ahead and pop that ult, but Dr. Strange is going to just block it. Very good play there by Pico, making sure to protect that team from that Hella ult. And we're actually going to see a
coming out any ult. Trying to go in. Rick on the backside does get taken down. The Bubble Buddies look like they will hold here with 4 eliminations here. Pico and I believe Simba is still alive for the CAVA Bears. Simba will drop there to Perplex, and Bruno Not Mars will finish off Pico de Gio as well. 12 seconds here. Make that 8 for CAVA to finish this one off. I believe the Bubble Buddies have held, and I believe that they will win this first game here today.
It's going to be close. We have the Strange Portal as well as a Doctor Strange ult. It's a matter of getting past this pinning nest as well as the few from VAVA. Very good ult there coming out though. Is able to take out both the strategists go down for VAVA. And I don't know, CAVA might actually have this fight. VAVA trying to stay on point. Fireplace giving what they have, but is going to kind of be by themselves until they come out of spawn. He is going to go in.
Until the last second, this Fireplace is going to go in. Yep, he's going to go in. Pico with the shields from Dr. Strange, doing what they need to do. Simba with the heals coming out from the Emma Frost. We also see the Trigger Magneto ult come down, do some damage. 5 players down, make that a full team wipe, and that will be CAVA able to also secure the point there. Oh my goodness gracious.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this.
All right, so what we're going to see
going to in overtime. Yeah, talk us through this here, Dustin.
Yeah, so this is actually what I thought was going to happen last fall season, which is it's actually really exciting because now we get to see both of these teams back on attack and defense. And it's whoever pushes the convoy the farthest. So technically, they could push this all the way through if they have the ability to, but realistically, you want to get it as far as possible, and it puts the pressure on the defending team to push it that much further than the other team did. So it'll basically cut off. You see that the, like it's just a countdown timer right now, but you'll notice that the timer on the actual convoy push is going to be quite a bit smaller. And they'll have to really fight it out, and it's really whoever caps point during that overtime section is going to determine if they're going to continue forward or if the convoy is just going to stop there. I hope that makes sense.
And man, game 1 overtime here. Oh, it made complete sense. Yes, game 1 overtime here for week number 1 of the K12 Esports League Winter 2026 season is absolutely amazing. Both teams playing out of their minds here today. Here we go. VAVA Bubble Buddies first on attack for this overtime. We will see Fireplace on this Venom go up, get a good knock up onto 2 players here, doing some good damage. Unfortunately for them, that heal was right there, so that Emma Frost for Simba will stay healthy, will stay alive, but quick drop by Pico de Gio. Zeke's from CAVA able to take them down. Going in again is Fireplace. Good, another knock up. And I mean, Venom, I've only played a little bit of Marvel Rivals in my time, but I do not like playing against a good Venom. And we are seeing one coming out of Fireplace here, as I think total to start this one, we have make that 5 players down for CAVA. You know, very staggered, but VAVA came out on fire. They will get some good distance here on this convoy to start. Looking at the player lineups here, the biggest, standouts to me are Fireplace on this Venom, and then Jarson actually coming out with the Punisher instead of the Iron Fist or the Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they're just going to try to get some damage in. We're obviously already in that overtime, so if VAVA is able to keep this convoy, they'll just kind of keep pushing this along until CAVA is able to capture the point and the time runs out. But if CAVA does happen to make a stop here, then this will be it, and it'll switch sides. But Fireplace back on this Venom, doing some pretty good poke damage on these strategists and everything. We have Seraphim going in as a healer on the ultimate. Has ultimate online, is not going to use it just yet though. Is going to wait till the last second to try to cap this point. 2 players from the CAVA team are currently down. And it looks like VAVA might be able to get past this first point.
It's looking very likely as Seraphim unable to get past that corner. Lorsu able to take them down on this route here. VAVA not only gets through the first point, but they are creeping up on halfway through the second point, which honestly is pretty mind-boggling here at this point. Very, very good overtime on an offense here coming out of them. For CAVA, they just need one stop here. But Perplex will have the Hella ult online, get some good damage in, will unfortunately not quite finish that player off there, but Zeke's now pulling out their ultimate in the back line, trying to do some damage. While that is happening though, CAVA will get a 4-player wipe and stop this convoy. So VAVA, as Dustin is pointing out with their mouse, 64.404 meters pushed on that one. So CAVA will need to make 64.05 to win this game number 1.
Yeah, for sure. And that was it was a really good push from VAVA. Again, I think changing up a little bit on that Venom, like I said, kind of going for those strategists, taking some of the strategist heals away from the CAVA team, and taking some of the attention away and everything makes a huge difference. We are going to see CAVA come out on some of the strongest players. I feel like that they have, looking like we're actually going to have a group on the CAVA side, which I don't think I've seen yet this season. But Pico coming back out on the Magneto, Jarson switching over to the Daredevil.
30 seconds before you attack.
And then you have
Get
this
ready.
Moon Knight, which we know Moon Knight's another versatile character from even the fall season that can do a lot of annoying damage if you don't take care of him within a timely manner.
Yeah, so on the CAVA Bears side, the biggest switch to me here is Rick on the Moon Knight, who we did see them play, I believe, I could be wrong here, there's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen, but I believe we saw them play in the championship match on this Moon Knight, and they are very good on this character. I really hope I'm not speaking out of turn there, but for the VAVA Bubble Buddies, Fireplace coming out on the Captain America, and Zeke's actually switching over to the Mr. Fantastic. Very excited and intrigued to see how this does play out here, but we are into the second piece of overtime. Again, CAVA needing to push that convoy at least 64.05 meters to win this game here. But to start us out here, a stronghold for the Bubble Buddies right out the gate here, as we will see 2 players from CAVA go down. Perplex on this Hella as the DPS playing so well, getting another one as well onto Jarson. Lorsu on this Penny doing what they can, staying in the front line, looking at Perplex once again. Crazy headshot as Rick did fall behind that building there. And holding strong is VAVA right now. CAVA only with 5 seconds here before that overtime ticker does start to count down, and it looks like they will be held at the very start of this this map here.
And CAVA is going to have the Loki ult online, who was able to take Luna's ult to try to give some form of healing, but we see CAVA kind of coming, or VAVA kind of coming back with their own ults and everything, trying to keep CAVA from this. Luna, though, able to stay on point for at least a little bit, but is going to be taken down. So currently no strategist online for the CAVA team.
The captain is a soldier.
And then we have Mr. Fantastic finishing up with his ult from the VAVA side. A lot going on. Being right here at CAVA spawn is making a huge difference in terms of being able to capture. But we see the overtime timer going down, and VAVA is able to hold CAVA within this spawn area for this convoy, and is going to take round 1. What a start to week 1 of Marvel Rivals.
Oh my goodness. That was an amazing game number 1. We have at least one more game, potentially 2 more that we do get to watch and see. Perplex getting the MVP there for this game number 1 from the VAVA Bubble Buddies. We're going to talk quickly through the stats and then hopefully get right into game 2 because I cannot wait to see some more action here. Looking at this, of course, MVP goes to Perplex on that Hella. As I was calling out, DPS 67 eliminations is crazy. Also, 56% accuracy using a Hella and a Namor primarily is wild. They're hitting over 1 of 2 shots, which is very good for a DPS. That is what you should like to see. And then the SVP for the CAVA Bears side, Jarson, 47 eliminations, basically had really close to the same amount of damage as Perplex. I think Perplex was just getting a couple more of those final hits there. Talk me through any other standout things that you're seeing here, Dustin.
Yeah, and honestly, the thing with Perplex that I'm even thinking of, this accuracy, we know he's typically he usually is the one that chooses the Hawkeye. So it is funny that Hella is his second because they are very similar in terms of how they do the headshots and everything. But overall, I just want to point out everybody on this particular. Look at the accuracy from coming out from all of these players. And then if you look across the board between the damage and the damage blocked and the heals, I mean, obviously this was a very, very competitive matchup and it took a little while and it even went into that overtime piece. But man, the damage and the blocks, it's just with that little bit of extra coming out on top for one team over the other. It's these teams are so evenly matched at the moment that this is going to continue being a really, really good matchup going into round 2. But I am super excited to see what that's going to bring because of what I'm seeing in terms of the stats here. And I'm curious to see when we go into convergence, sometimes those comps can change just slightly, even though it's very similar to Convoy in some ways. But obviously different maps are good with different heroes. So kudos to all these players though, and who we were able to get on stream because this is very, very impressive in terms of the just the overall stats.
Yeah, and real quick, as the teams do need to pick map and a side, I want to just shout out the healers from both teams. I believe that's Emperor Ally and Bruno Not Mars for the VAVA Bubble Buddies, and then for the VAVA Bears, I believe it was Simba,
Seraphim and Simba.
And Seraphim, yes. Being a healer is probably the most important role, honestly. All the roles are really important. I don't know what I'm saying here. There's not a most important role, but it is so pivotal. And unfortunately, since you are just a healer, right, you're not making like the most flashy plays or anything like that. But they actually did so good keeping their teams alive. All 4 of those players, 2 on each team, that I just had to take a moment to shout them out for sure. But I do want to talk very quickly through, we have some substitutes coming in. We have Pibsologist coming in, and Sergeant Squirt for the CAVA Bears, and then also a substitute on the VAVA Bubble Buddy side, Many Feet coming in as well. So we are going to be able to see just a few different players here in this one, which I'm actually super, super excited for. Both these rosters, all players very, very good. I want to see what these substitutes do bring to this game number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. As I noticed, Lord Human Torch, which I'm not going to lie, like it kind of reminds me of the Spider-Man in some ways. It's either a really, really good duelist or somebody that you really have to work with. Can cause some problems there, though. And I want to kind of reiterate what you were saying about the strategists. It's funny that, yes, they're not necessarily making as flashy plays, but with like people like Jarson and Perplex and Fireplace and everything, or not Fireplace, I believe it was, kind of coming in and doing some of that poke damage. They're dive characters. They're meant to go for those backline people, and so holding their own while trying to heal their teams and everything is definitely very mind-boggling. But with these picks and bans coming out, we are going to see that VAVA is able to secure a Hawkeye because of the Hella ban coming out from the CAVA side. We are going to see Penny and Iron Fist ban, which is going to be huge on Jarson. But his repertoire of characters and heroes looks like it's pretty versatile, so not super worried about that piece, which it's very good to have some extras in there. We are still going to see Invis Woman banned this round, and Loki actually coming banned this round, as well as Winter Soldier, which could be huge. But the good news is for the strategist piece, they were able to secure the Jeff if they need it for the VAVA side, as well as the Gambit piece for, it looks like the CAVA side. Going to be a good little team up there with the Magneto, and then securing the Mr. Fantastic pick as well, probably for the CAVA side as well in the event that they need to bring that out. So definitely some interesting picks. We see that a little bit of a different comp with some of the similar characters coming into play. And we are on Yggdrasil, I believe, for the Convergence map. Or no, this is not. No, this is Hall de Jalia. That's my bad. But yeah, they have to capture this point up here.
Get ready.
Yeah, no worries. So this is a Convergence, for those of you that don't know, is a mixture between Convoy and Domination. To start off, you have to cap the Dom point, and then the Convoy comes up, and then you can walk the Convoy to the end point. So Convergence is probably the most complex game type here. My favorite to play is Domination. What about you here, Dustin?
Domination is really cool. Honestly, Convergence is up there with me. I like the fact that it's a little mixture of both, that you have to capture the point and everything. And there's some really good maps, in my opinion, on Convergence. I am curious though with the substitution of Pibs, because we noticed Pibs on the Hulk and everything during the playoffs and in the championships. Between him and Pico, they're definitely going to have VAVA's going to have their work cut out for him on the tank side and everything.
Oh, that is for sure. Pibs, Hulk, or Captain America, a very good tank player coming out. But here we go. Once again, CAVA, or sorry, not once again. Sorry, I saw the color, but switch up this time. CAVA starting on offense. VAVA Bubble Buddy starting on defense. We will see, again, Zeke's on this Magneto get the first elimination here in this game number 2 onto Pico de Gio. And Many Feet also getting Pibs down. So the tanks falling early here for the CAVA Bears.
Yeah, really good hold there initially by the VAVA Bubble Buddies. Currently no ult still online. Getting close with a couple of them, but still very early in the game. CAVA still has about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to take point to be able to move this convoy for the rest of the map. We are going to see Sergeant Squint be able to take down Many Feet though, and come in and really kind of cause a little bit of trouble for VAVA. Perplex going down, Bruno Not Mars going down, Lorzu going down as well. Both strategists for the VAVA Bubble Buddies down, meaning that Many Feet, Perplex, and Fireplace are probably going to have to pull out, and CAVA's going to be able to cap this point.
Hey, and real quick, shout out Sergeant Squirt on the Star-Lord. Again, I have not played too much Marvel Rivals, but I do like Star-Lord. Reminds me of Tracer from Overwatch. I know they're not super similar, but shout out Sergeant Squirt. Love to see it. Back to the gameplay here. We actually see Simba on the Emma Frost able to get an elimination. So as Dustin was mentioning earlier, not only keeping their teammates alive, but also getting that poke damage in. Love to see it here. 3 ults online here for CAVA. You actually see Pibs pop the Captain America ult and secure 2 eliminations for their team with that one. And the rest of the ultimates now online for CAVA. VAVA's going to need to play very careful here. Sergeant Squirt will pop the Star-Lord ult, go up into the sky, get this free damage in, able to secure Zeke's with the help of Pibs, Ologist, and CAVA with the color switch up here, ladies and gentlemen. Playing very well. Has this convoy almost to the first checkpoint here in this game number 2.
And we saw a lot of ults coming out there online when Star-Lord popping that ult. Magneto tried to counter ult and was not able to get the Star-Lord down. And then we also saw Perplex come out with their ult. CAVA currently has the Gambit ult online, hasn't even gotten to use it yet, and realistically that can create a huge push for the CAVA team if needed, because of the healing and the extra little bit of damage boost that ult does. But Fireplace coming in on this Venom, trying to get the strategist, is going to distract them up a little bit, but they're actually going to get a little help from the Star-Lord. Sergeant Squint taking him down. Sergeant Squirt taking him down.
Yeah, I mean, CAVA said, we're coming out on fire after losing that first game. They, I feel like, have not had their foot off the gas pedal since this one did start, playing super, super well. I feel like their team fighting right now is super, super on point. A lot of, damage coming out of Jarson and Sergeant Squirt being in those players actually getting finished off by some of their other teammates though. But here we go. Sergeant Squirt once again popping the Star-Lord ult, getting a lot of damage in, and as I mentioned, they actually only secured one final hit there of those 5 players that did go down, make that 6. And the rest of the teammates, Pibs, Seraphim, Simba, Jarson, and Pico, finishing those players off. That team play, again, as I mentioned, just amazing here for CAVA on the second game.
Yeah, CAVA just really is not letting up on this. Orzu is going to pop the Gambit ult for the VAVA side, giving them a little bit of heals and everything damage. But with that Luna ult and the Captain America ult, we're going to see Pico take down Perplex. Perplex being able to take down Jarson in the last second. Many feet on the Mr. Fantastic, currently ulting at the moment. Trying to get some headway, is going to find Pibologist there. And VAVA is going to at least be able to get the stop right before VAVA reaches that 3rd point. But with 2 minutes and almost 40 seconds coming up for the CAVA team, there is plenty of room for them to be able to come back and get this convoy. 5 ults online, 4 ults online for the VAVA bees. Magneto ult is blocked by Mr. Fantastic there.
Yeah, it was a great block. I would love to see the Bubble Buddies use all these ults, and it looks like they will. Great call coming out of them. This is a huge stop here, and it looks like it will actually happen with make that 5 players going down for the CAVA Bears. Really glad to see that call coming out of the Bubble Buddies. Don't hold those ultimates. Wait for the perfect moment. Make a play happen. And that's exactly what they did. They'll at least hold for quite a bit longer here, as CAVA does need to come off of spawn and come back to this point. So, again, great call coming out of the Bubble Buddies to pop all of those. Now it is basically vanilla gameplay, no ultimates online for either team. How much longer can the Bubble Buddies hold off this CAVA Bears team? Orsu does have the Gambit ult. We'll pull that out, so that will help quite a lot here as far as this team fight. And we're seeing it actually come to fruition. 2 players go down for the CAVA Bears. Make that 3 with Zeke's coming in and Many Feet getting 1 apiece as well. That was 4 total going down for the CAVA Bears. Great use of the Gambit ult from Lorksu there, and the rest of the VAVA Bubble Buddies able to follow them up in a great way, great fashion. Holding even longer is this Bubble Buddies team. CAVA was so close to finishing this this round out, but holding strong again is the Bubble Buddies. 2 ults online though now for the CAVA Bears. It's going to be 4 in just a few moments. Jarson will pop their Daredevil ult. A lot of damage coming in from both teams, but overall, we will see CAVA come out on top of this team fight. Jarson in the back line with Pibs will be able to take down Lorksu. Many Feet coming out with the Mr. Fantastic ult, just trying to buy some time here for their teammates. They are going to go down here any second, but they do actually get some good heals from their teammates. Jarson able to finish that one off. Pico de Gio with a huge Gambit ult will skyrocket the rest of their teammates to a full team wipe, and that will finish us off here in this round number 1 of game number 2. CAVA completes the objective with 19 seconds left. VAVA will need to do the same thing, just in a faster fashion now.
Yeah, that was huge coming out from the CAVA team, pushing pretty much all the way through to that very last point. Obviously, VAVA making some really good stops there, kind of getting that switch up and everything of the heroes to try to counteract some of those dives, because between the Captain America and the Jarson on Iron Fist as well as Daredevil makes it extremely tricky, including even the Star-Lord from Sergeant Squirt and everything doing some just really good work on making sure that VAVA doesn't have their strategist kind of taking out that back line before taking out the rest, keeping up the pressure all the way
30
through.
seconds before you
But
attack. Get ready.
Gambit, I tell you what, is a very interesting character
The
because he builds his
actual
ult up
Magneto.
so quickly.
Wow.
And the value in his ult between
Well, but you should
that
know
damage
magnetism
boost
doesn't
as well
work
as the
on
heals and
super cooled
everything makes it
materials. Guess what I
a
can
really
do?
good ult to use when trying to push that convoy, and that's exactly what they did in the very end. CAVA coming out on top
The battle
during
starts in 5,
that first little bit of round
4,
on convergence.
3,
VAVA
2,
now has the chance on
1.
attack to see what they can
All you need
do,
to do is capture the
see if they
mission
can take
area.
it all the
Got
way,
it?
just as CAVA did before.
Today we fight as allies. Do not give me reason to
Indeed, and here we go into the second round. We will see Pib switch onto the Hulk as well, which is who we saw them on for most of the championship match. Sergeant Squirt actually bringing out the Phoenix as well. Fireplace bringing out their own Star-Lord this time. Lorksu on the Groot. Perplex switching up to the Namor as well. Many Feet does switch over to the Magneto. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting considering he was on Mr. Fantastic and everything like that before. Or, yeah, the Fantastic Four peeps. Fireplace on this Star-Lord, trying to do some damage. Is going to get taken down. And a quick ult there from the Phoenix. Sergeant Squirt from CAVA is going to push VAVA Bubble Buddies back.
Magnetism
5
can't handle a deep
going,
freeze.
or 4 going down, making Perplex and Fireplace back off. They do have Luna ult online that they could use to push through this, but are going to have to be careful as there is the Gambit ult that is currently charging up, as well as the Luna ult from the CAVA side, so they're going to have that additional healing factor, but each team is going to have strategist ults online. It's going to make an interesting push for VAVA.
That is for sure. All ultimates coming online for a lot of players here now. Who will have the better ult usage? Perplex once again on the Namor, getting some good damage out. Is going to pop their ult, get the KO onto Sergeant Squirt, but unfortunately will also be taken down. It looks like CAVA is going to be coming out on top of this fight. Great damage coming out of their DPS. Their tanks doing their job up in the front line, and their healers also doing their job, keeping their whole entire team healthy. CAVA, once again, as I mentioned in that last round, coming out on fire here. They did not like losing that first game.
No, I definitely agree. With 5 ults online, though, from the CAVA side, gonna be a bit of a hard push, even with the 2 strategist ults coming in for VAVA. They're gonna have to get some picks to be able to really make this push. And they're trying everything. Lorzu coming in after Pico. Luna ult is gonna come online, as well as Hulk's ult from Pibbs on the CAVA side. Gonna try to take up some space and is actually gonna get taken back down to Bruce Banner, but oh my
Carson
goodness.
popping their Punisher ult will, you know, convert into an elimination there.
Only 60
And
seconds left.
CAVA, I mean, just holding so strong. So many ults did just come out. Pibbs coming back with the Hulk as well, trying to get into the backline and split that Bubble Buddies team up. But here we see Fireplace on this Star-Lord popping their ult, getting some good damage in. Unfortunately, was a little bit spread across the CAVA team, so not able to get any full knockouts there.
Hit for Luna Snow.
Simba playing so good in this backline with the Emma Frost for the CAVA Bears. Their team has been healthy this entire round, and Pibbs coming back to get these heals. I mean, CAVA just on fire at the moment. What I need to see out of Bubble Buddies is a really good team fight coming out here, because they still need to cap this domination point. They only have 10 seconds. We will be seeing a Doctor Strange portal coming out so that they can at least hop down onto it. But waiting was that CAVA player, and everyone from CAVA now rotating back to try and make sure that VAVA does not get this point at all. Very good Doctor Strange shields coming out here from Fireplace, but Jarson once again has their ultimate online, will use it, convert it into 2 eliminations. Sergeant Squirt also getting their own with the Star-Lord, and that will be a very, very quick second round of game number 2 here. CAVA will secure the win on this one, and Dustin, we are seeing a week 1 game number 3.
Absolutely, and I love it. And I love the fact that we honestly, through regular season, didn't get to go to domination as much as we would have liked to on the stream, but super happy that we get to during this week 1. Kava just coming out and really just pushing on attack, and then just keeping to that on the defensive, really sticking that to VAVA this go around, making sure that they're really good. Strange portal coming out from Fireplace there at the end had the right idea and everything. Kava just having that little bit extra online with Jarson having his ultimate online as well as Sergeant Squirt. Obviously, we see some of the damage coming out for both of them. Jarson 51-4. We're not surprised based off of previous rounds and everything from the fall season and everything, and especially when you have the healing support that you do from each of these teams for their teammates and everything, you're going to see some of these higher damage totals and everything. But VAVA, really good job at being on defense and everything with the attack. For this particular round, it was just harder because Kava had the ults at the right times to be able to answer back with what they had and everything. So curious to see which map we're going to be doing on domination, who's going to start on, or that doesn't matter necessarily. It's attack or defense because they're both fighting for that point. But yeah, coming down to this best of 3 on this last one is going to be crazy.
Oh, absolutely. And just to, as the map does get figured out here, just to speak on that game as a whole, right? Kava started round number 1 on their attack really, really hot. But then VAVA made some really good mid-game adjustments and was actually able to hold for quite a while, win a couple of team fights, and that really played to their favor, being able to be on defense to start and have the time to make those mid-game adjustments. Once we switched to VAVA being on offense and Kava on defense, Kava just held them so well that they didn't even have the Bubble Buddies didn't have a chance to make those mid-game adjustments, and I think that's what we really saw as the difference maker there, because it was looking like it was going to be a dominant offense from Kava, and it was at the end of the day. But VAVA did find their footing in that first part of the game, but then going into that second round, VAVA just on fire here. It is going to be a different look on domination. So I'm excited to see Bubble Buddies hopefully have a quick talk before we do get into the game, and not let that game affect them going into this next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it completely different mindset when it comes to domination and everything. And it's just very, very curious. We're probably going to see some similar comps coming out from these. It seems like the consistency of the heroes that have been selected are being played throughout this whole thing. So, I mean, which it wouldn't surprise me, any of these players could have a hero in their back pocket that I have no idea about. So, totally 100% good. But I think we are just giving the players just a couple minutes, not just to figure out the map, but making sure that they are good to go. So while we wait on this third map for anticipation, we're going to go to a be back screen, and we will be back once this action kind of gets up and going and we get into picks and bans. All right, and we are back, and it looks like they're going to be going with the Hydra base Hell's Heaven for the domination. So we won't know exactly which map from this domination round will be selected because it is selected random as we're kind of going in. But in the meantime, we are going to see Daredevil be banned as well as Hela. We're going to have that insta-lock for the Hawkeye as well as Star-Lord. Gonna be banning Penny coming out from the CAVA side as well. Curious to see who VAVA's going to try to ban this round to.
Yeah, how do I want to say this here? The Hawkeye lock for the Bubble Buddies is very interesting to me. They got it last game, but we actually didn't see Perplex on the Hawkeye too much, right? They started on them and then they switched off pretty quick. Could have been the map, and so hoping to bank on it and lean on Perplex on the Hawkeye this game. But we'll just have to see how it does end up playing out. The Penny ban coming out from CAVA, very, very interesting. We'll also see a Gambit ban coming out as well. The Emma Frost lock. I'm sorry, not Emma Frost.
Yeah, you're right. Emma Frost.
Great, thank you.
You're good.
For the Bubble Buddies, and Jarson does get to lock in their Iron Fist, but also with a Punisher ban. Very, very, very interesting. And really quick, I do actually want to look at who do we have for the lineups. Sergeant Squirt staying in here for the CAVA Bears, and it looks like we will have Pibzologist come out for Trigger. And we will actually see for the first time here today, Sneaky Septipus, we're going to call you Sneaky, coming in for the Bubble Buddies.
And I like the comp so far that I'm seeing coming out from VAVA as well as CAVA. Lorzu going back on the Groot, which no bias, but that's definitely a favorite of mine. Can be very annoying, especially in domination rounds too. Fireplace could be annoying, obviously, with this Venom pick and everything. Gonna try to take some backline damage from those strategists to see if they can hold off. We are going to see Trigger come back in for the CAVA team on the Captain America. So we're going to have this little bit of backline duo with the Captain America as well as the Star-Lord, trying to take out some of those strategists and Jarson in the process too. But curious to see with the Hawkeye and the Magic actually from Zeke over here, how that's going to favor for the domination rounds. And we are going to start out. I can't remember exactly. I know it's the factory or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it? Go have fun.
That is A-okay. Because we are into this one. Doesn't matter what it's called. We're just going to call out the action. Dustin, remind me who this character that Zeke is on right now.
Zeke is on Magic. So Duelist
Magic,
usually
right.
goes through backline. Very quickly gonna find the Jarson though. Jarson was trying to, I believe, come back and start trying to annoy some of those strategists. They were gonna find the Cloak and Dagger at least though. Emma Frost going down for the CAVA side. Magic gonna back off because VAVA currently on point.
5 players on point too. They're going to cap this very fast, and the percentage for the Bubble Buddies will start ticking up now that they have capped it. Zeke's going in on this Sergeant Squirt for CAVA, but Sergeant Squirt on Star-Lord, able to 1v1 Zeke's there. I think Sergeant Squirt Star-Lord is actually fantastic. They will unfortunately go down there to Fireplace, but answered right back and traded by Simba. Again, I gotta call out, we don't watch them too often, but the healers for these teams, not only do they heal so well, but they also get the poke damage in. That is what makes a good healer. So shout out all of them here in this game here today. But again, we do have VAVA's percentage continuing to tick up until CAVA did just cap the point. So VAVA looking somewhere in the 30% right now. CAVA's going to be ticking up now. Domination is such a fun one to watch.
Yeah, and CAVA was able to take that point over and is actually going to push pretty far back against this VAVA team. And in some ways, I think it's safe to do it at first, but with some of these ultimates and everything online, they are going to block the Groot ult coming out from Lorzu, which is going to be kind of huge. We are going to have Magneto ult coming out to counteract the Hawkeye ult, and then we're going to have Luna ult for the CAVA side as well as the Star-Lord. Not going to find much there. Venom ulting for the VAVA side. Again, not going to find much. Jarson getting the Venom down. Pico getting Lorzu down. So both tanks for the VAVA side are currently down. Sergeant Squirt taking out Mr. Fantastic as well. And getting the double on Sneaky.
Well, CAVA just on fire at the moment. Jarson and Sergeant Squirt will find Bruno Not Mars hanging out, lurking on the corner there, and able to take them, like melt them, honestly, at the end of the day. Fireplace now back onto the Thor, going to try and get as much damage as they can down and soak up as much damage as possible. Throwing out that hammer, getting some pretty good hits, honestly, for the moment, but both teams strong, 6 players. And of course, as I say that, the team fight will go crazy. Double coming out from, I believe, was Lorksu there. But at the end of the day, CAVA's coming out on top of this team fight. Trigger with the ult online will not even need to be used. I was not even paying attention to the percentages there at the end of that one. CAVA able to hold strong after VAVA had held it for about a third of the way there. CAVA will cap the point and keep it all the way until the end.
Oh, and I think that may have been back. Or, okay, they're I'm sorry. I thought that Seraphim was popping ult in the spawn. I was about to say, man, that's a huge no-no. So that way they can actually use that to be able to take this point. We are actually at the Super Soldier Factory now. We were on Frozen Airfield, but VAVA just got pushed so far back that they weren't able to get the momentum that they needed to come back up and really take, CAVA on that point and everything. They do have some ults that are going to be coming up online, but CAVA currently with the better setup in terms of their ults and what they're going to end up having online. VAVA really needs to try to get some damage in to be able to build those ults up a little quicker, so that way they can domineer on this point.
Well, here we go. Mission area unlocks in 10 seconds. Lorksu coming out on the first rogue that I have seen in the K12 Esports League. Really cool animations, honestly, for the rogue. Shout out to the Marvel Rivals team on that one. Ooh. But so far, CAVA has control of the point. No eliminations have happened really for the moment. One down for each team. Bruno Not Mars on the back line here, putting in some damage, getting those heals in as well. Will be found out and singled out and taken down by Jarson. And it looks like this will be CAVA being able to take the point out the rip in this one. 4 players down for the VAVA Bubble Buddies. And they will need to convert on something. They gotta get one of these strategists down and snowball from there.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, if it were me, and I mean, obviously, like I'm not a pro player by any means. I noticed that during that very first round, we did see, I believe it was Lorzu coming out on the Loki. Could be a really good pick for this to be able to maybe like even do some flank and everything. They haven't tried triple support since round 1, but they are getting some good damage in now. Able to take down 4 of the CAVA players and is finally able to take control at this point. CAVA currently up 41% and VAVA starting to climb.
Yeah, great push there by VAVA. Able to come out on top of the team fight. We're able to take down most of the CAVA Bears team and secure this point. So that was really good team fighting coming out of the Bubble Buddies there. Oh, Jarson singled out right away by the rogue there. will not get taken down, but will not be able to start the fight the way that they wanted to. So a huge play coming out of Lorsu on the Rogue to delay the damage coming out of Jarson on that Iron Fist, but Perplex here on their main pick of the Hawkeye, trying to get this damage in, throwing down those arrows, gets a nice headshot there. Two ults coming out from the CAVA Bears though, Jarson and Simba Cat. Jarson putting down some damage. I don't think they're in a good spot to get and secure any eliminations as their teammates are falling beside them. Jarson now very low as well. Trigger low, Sergeant Squirt low. VAVA with a nice hold. Zeke's coming out on the Mr. Fantastic, switching to that hero. Doing very, very well as, honestly, VAVA holding strong. The only worry I have here for them, 3 ultimates online for the CAVA Bears, only 1, gonna be 2 pretty soon for the Bubble Buddies. Can CAVA snowball their ult advantage here into a point capture?
No, I totally agree with that. And it looks like they're going to see all 3 ults come out from the CAVA team, followed by Thor's ult from the VAVA side. Not going to find much, but Jarson. But then we're also going to have the Emma Frost ult come out from the CAVA side, able to kind of distract them for a moment, and looks like might actually go down with only 12 health. I don't know. They're holding on just barely. Jarson trying to pick up some ground. VAVA currently fighting for point in overtime and is actually going to take it this round. And honestly, really, really good job there by VAVA. Honestly, in some ways, I think the road pick was actually kind of smart because using that ult, being able to drain some of the ults from the CAVA side, kind of limiting them when they first kind of overtook the point. But some really good CAVA taking that first point, doing really well, and then VAVA coming in and being able to hold on to that point is huge. We are literally down to this very last map on domination, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to determine our winner for week 1.
Yeah, I cannot believe we're seeing a final, like the last possible thing that we could be seeing here for this this first week of matches. Shout out to VAVA on that second round. VAVA had the opportunity to win a team fight with the ultimate advantage, but VAVA somehow, with their team fighting, able to hold strong and come out on top, secured that round for them right there. That was CAVA's opportunity to secure point and start coming back in that game. But we're into the final bit of this series. Whatever team wins this round will win the series here. And we are starting off. Zeke's actually getting pretty low. Shout out again, strategist, keeping them healthy. Will go into the backline. 57 HP, popping that ult, getting all of that extra health, jumping into the backline. Will get taken down without really securing too much damage for the rest of their teammates to follow up. But Perplex now showing what they do on this Hawkeye, getting to make that 3. VAVA gonna be in a primed and prepped position to have this percentage after they've captured this point go up and probably get at least to 25% before CAVA can really start a huge team fight here.
Yeah, this is an interesting map because the point actually changes up and down depending on who has control over it. So right now it's in an elevated position, and you know, with that little bit of high ground can actually help the VAVA players in some ways. Lorsu coming out with their ultimate for Rogue, taking away some of that ult against the CAVA team. Man, hanging in there because of these people right here, these strategists doing what they need to do, keeping their teams alive and everything. And it's going to push CAVA back out with 3 eliminations on the CAVA side. VAVA currently up 50%.
Keep going.
Yeah, VAVA up 50%. This is absolutely crazy to see. As once again, we shouted this out earlier, but CAVA are reigning champions from the fall 2025 season. The Bubble Buddies are 3rd place winners. So 2 teams that are very, very good. The Bubble Buddies have been practicing. We can see that here in this one at 70% right now is the Bubble Buddies. However, ults getting exchanged back and forth. CAVA coming out on top of this team fight here, able to push VAVA back. off the point, they will secure and start having this percentage go in their way. VAVA, I believe that's 79% there. Very close to actually finishing this one out with CAVA with a great team push. Will actually push VAVA basically almost to their spawn points here. VAVA needing to collect themselves and be a full team of 6 going into this VAVA fight, or I'm sorry, into this team fight.
And we have Magneto coming out. Is going to find Sneaky on the Cloak and Dagger. Perplex getting Sergeant Squirt in. So 3 down currently for VAVA, 1 currently down for CAVA. CAVA able to continue holding on to this point, is pushing VAVA back to the spawn. And this is where it begins kind of that little bit of an uphill climb for VAVA. Can they get back to the point and be able to capture it back and hold on to it?
I'll tell you what. That was a great play call coming out of CAVA there. 3 ults online. Use them. Push, win the team fight, push VAVA back to their spawn point, and now you have all this space to get damage down to re-get your ultimates back. Sorry, words are hard. So much action, so much excitement going down. The Thor ult will be coming out from Fireplace. Will not find anything. Zeke's on them so fantastic with the ult themselves. Getting some good damage actually will help secure at least 1 elimination for VAVA. Make that 3 and 4. VAVA gonna be able to get this point back. The percentages right now very even at the moment. VAVA holding strong for just a moment longer, but it will switch control over into the VAVA side. Completely even at this point. VAVA now with just a small advantage as far as actually capturing this final domination point here today. CAVA has 1 good push left.
And with this
However,
Dr. Strange
stopping them before they even get a chance.
Yeah, with that Dr. Strange ult, they were going to try and get some damage in. Perplex taking down Seraphim, which is one of those strategists for the CAVA side. Perplex coming online with his Hawkeye ult is going to find Lorzu taking down Pico, Zeke taking down Trigger. It looks like even with with Perplex going down and Bruno not Mars, VAVA is going to take this point and is actually going to take this week 1 game in one of the closest matchups we've seen between these two teams. Really, really crazy gameplay coming out from both of these teams. Very, very close down to the wire.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm just going to re-say what Dustin said, but the closest game I think that we have seen on stream for the K12 Esports League in any Marvel Rivals matchup that we have gotten a chance to watch. That was absolutely incredible. I could not have asked for anything more than an absolute nail-biter coming down to the wire for our first week of the winter season, starting us off on such a great foot. The rest of the season is going to be absolutely amazing here, Dustin. Let's take a quick look at the stats.
Absolutely. Obviously, we're kind of seeing Jarson and Perplex come out as the MVP and SVP for each of these teams, doing the damage that they do, not dying as often as some of the other ones. But overall, across the board, that was pretty even. VAVA getting that hold and being able to keep it kind of early did make a little bit of difference, but then CAVA being able to come back in. I mean, I don't know if everybody noticed the percentages of how close it was there towards the end, but each team was like at 83% and 82%. VAVA just being able to get that little extra leverage over the CAVA team on those last couple bouts. Pico with that Doctor Strange ult trying to come in, and I was actually really thinking that would have cleaned it up a little bit for CAVA to be able to take it back over, but not quite enough this particular round to be able to take that. So kudos to the VAVA team for taking this tonight. Strategists, really, really good job at healing. Y'all are doing an amazing job at keeping your players alive to the best of your ability while taking on these dives. As a strategist secondary, I totally understand the panic that can set in, but man, y'all keep such a cool and level head to be able to take on those fights as well as healing your teams. And then each player just doing their role fantastically. So I can't wait to see what is in store for the remainder of this season after just seeing this matchup tonight.
Oh, me either. And I can't wait to see the rest of Bubble Buddies and Kava and how they evolve through the season. And then, eventually, uh, playoffs is going to be a tight race to actually qualify. But, you know, once we do get to playoffs, I'm excited to see how that does look. One thing I do want to shout out here, one really standout thing for me, looking at Bruno, not Mars, 40,000 healing in a domination. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to you, Bruno, not Mars. But Dustin, I think we're ready to bring it back to our faces here, and we can look at closing it out. Again, week 1 of the winter 2026 season for the K12 Esports League. We started off hot yesterday with a Smash Bros stream and a Valorant stream. Really great matches there. And then, I mean, the most insane Marvel Rivals match that has happened between last season and of course this first match of this season, right, for the winter time. Absolutely insane. Cannot wait to watch Rocket League tomorrow. Cannot wait for Fortnite on Thursday. I mean, this is just a very incredible week number 1. We're starting out hot. Cannot wait to get through the rest of the weeks and start playoffs. Our playoffs action is going to be wild, I think, Dustin, here. But just a couple more things to close this out. I did mention we have Rocket League tomorrow night and Fortnite on Thursday. However, everyone, this was a special stream here for me and Dustin, as we will have Loyola University of New Orleans coming back starting next week to stream their Marvel Rivals matches for us. Shout out to Loyola University, and shout out to the other universities that we're currently partnered with. University of Idaho streaming our Valorant matches, Concord University starting next week with the Smash Bros matches, and Radford University also starting next week with Rocket League. We cannot express how much we appreciate them and how awesome they do helping us capture the coverage of the K12 Esports League. With that being said, shout out to your coaches, shout out to our players, shout out to all the parents and learning coaches and guardians for allowing you to participate with us. We appreciate each and every single one of you more than you know. Dustin, anything to add? Want to close us out here?
Yeah, we appreciate you all supporting us as well as the K12 Esports League with the students and the players and the coaches. Very, very huge. Join us back tomorrow night for the Rocket League, and then join us back with Loyola University, as Robbie mentioned, next week for more of our rivals with some great commentary coming at you. So we appreciate you. We hope you have a good rest of your day, and we hope to see you back soon.